On Saturday, I did my first Deadly Dozen solo race. So I've done a doubles before last year at Macclesfield, so I thought I'd try the solo. This was at Birmingham at Alexander Stadium, so an absolutely brilliant venue for the whole thing. I'm experienced in Hyrox and also Deca, but I've never done a solo Deadly Dozen before. I've trained for it and I train in it, so I coach Deadly Dozen sessions. I'd only trained 4 times in the actual movements, so I'm familiar with the movements, the labours, and I just thought I'd give it a go. So I looked at the leaderboard, the all-time leaderboard for my age group, 60 to 69, and I knew that I had a time to beat of just over 1 hour. So I wasn't absolutely sure whether I could do that, but I thought I would give it a go. So anyway, it took us probably about an hour and a half to get there from Cambridge. So we travelled in the morning, left here at 7:30, got to the stadium at about 9 o'clock. So it was quite early because my race was 11 o'clock. A few of us went down there from Neil Marsh Health and Fitness, Purple Army. I wasn't the first one in our gang to go. Someone else went before me. So I was on at 11, started to warm up probably about 10:30. The track wasn't very busy at this point. You know, there was absolutely no congestion on the track or in the labours. Quite a few spectators, so it was a really good ground to spectate from because obviously being in a stadium, you can sit and watch. You could also get up to the track, close to the track, if you wanted to get a little bit nearer to watch the labours. So yeah, it was fairly warm. I was hoping it would be cloudy, but the sun came out just as I was about to start. So it was a little bit warm, I would say probably about 24 degrees. Yeah, so you start off with one run. So it's a 400-metre run on the track. So you go around 400 metres and then you go into the first labour, which is on grass. So the first labour was 240 metres farmer's carry, 16 kilo. I didn't mind this one at all because I've been training with heavy kettlebells for Hyrox. So I've been using 24 kilos for Hyrox. So 16 kilos, fairly easy for me. I managed the whole thing unbroken, didn't put them down. Off I went on my second run. There was a photographer on the way round. Of course, when you first start the race, you're all sort of perky, look at me, hi, waving, smiling, overtaking people on the track because you're nice and fresh. Came into the second labour, which was, I'm not sure I can remember them off by heart, but deadlift, 60 deadlifts with a kettlebell, 24 kilos. That was all right. I'm a little bit wary with deadlifts of an old injury. I've got an old hamstring injury, so I tend to sort of be a little bit careful on that one. I think I took 1 or 2 breaks, so I either did them in 30s or 20s. Off I went round the track again. Can't remember what the next one was. Possibly burpee broad. I should have written these down, shouldn't I? Possibly burpee broad jumps. No, lunges. That's it. Lunges. So I can't remember how many lengths of lunges, but it was there and back and there and back. I think. Each of those 30 metres, 3, 4, so it's 120 metres, I think. But anyway, yeah, lunges were fine because they were on grass. Just holding the dumbbells on grass, so nice and soft on your knees, not like a Hyrox where you get a Hyrox knee. I always come away with dirty knees after Hyrox. Burpee broad jumps were fine. Also on grass because it's a lot easier and a lot more forgiving when you're doing them on grass. A little bit more bouncy as well. But the thing I noticed about the race was that you get more and more fatigued as you go along, and the labours that you normally find easy, the further along they are, the harder they get. So for instance, the plate clean and press for me is I can normally do those really fast, but I felt that I'd slowed down quite a bit compared to normal because I was quite tired and I had to stop twice, I think. So I was either splitting the 60 reps into 20 or 30, 3 lots of 20 or 2 lots of 30. Bear crawls, I like bear crawls actually. The only thing about that was it was quite funny because you can't see where you're going because you're down on all fours and you're not really looking up, and there are no lines on the grass. You just got to go from cone to cone, which is 30 meters, and you've got people coming the other way, so if you're not careful you crash into someone, and I nearly did. But I had my coach was there, he was on the mic, Coach Marshy was on the mic, and he came to sort of watch a bit of my race, and I could hear him going, "This way, Carol, this way," because I was sort of veering off course. But yeah, got there in the end. That was pretty good. Then can't remember. I don't think there's anything else that caused me any problems. Push press, I felt that was quite easy because that's 6 kilos. I've been doing push press with quite a bit heavier than that now. So although it's 60 reps, it still wasn't too bad. The one I struggled a little bit on was the overhead carry. So you've got 10 kilo plate and you're walking with it. You don't have to fully extend your arms for it. Normally, if I'm training, I can hold it overhead and I can actually run with it like that. No way. There was absolutely no way I could run with it at that point because it was the second to last labour. And Coach Marshy was saying, heard him say to me, "If you've got a sprint in you, Carol, do it now." And I just went, "No, I'm not doing that," because I just literally could not hold it, and I was dying to put it down. Last run, they all told, because they knew that I was trying for the world record, they all told me to absolutely send it on the last run. And looking at my data, I think I did. My last run was the fastest. Came into the Devil Press, and Wendy, my doubles partner in Hyrox, she has been my doubles partner in Hyrox, although sadly not at World Championships, and also in DECA, and we did a doubles Deadly Dozen last year. She was there judging me on the Devil Press, and she would not let me slow down. She was shouting at me to keep going, telling me how good I was. It was brilliant. You see, she really kept me going right to the end. I think I did pretty well on those. Don't think I even slowed down. But my photos, honestly, my face, I have got an absolute pain face. And even when I run over the line, my face is awful. I look like I'm in absolute agony. Ran over the line, and then I realised I had broken the world record for age group by almost 4 minutes. So my time was 56.31. Previous time, as I said, was over 1 hour. So I was absolutely over the moon about that. Got a medal as soon as I finished, and a patch. Medals are really cool. They've got, I've got one on here actually. No, I put it somewhere else. I've got so many medals here. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Let's get it off. There we go. There's the medal. Cool medal, eh? I'll wear it. Yeah, so I got a medal. Then I went and saw all my friends who congratulated me, and so we were celebrating for a bit, had a pie and chips. And then I went and judged myself for a little while, so probably just an hour and a half, that's all I could do. Judging was really good fun, so if you do a race yourself, I would highly recommend volunteering as maybe a half-day judge or a flexible judge if you're racing, because that means you can just do a stint whenever you want. They put you somewhere where there aren't many judges, where they need judges. I would say that we could have done with more on Saturday. There were times when there were athletes coming in who didn't have a judge, so you know, it's always really useful to volunteer to do some judging. Apart from that, everything was really well run, I thought. Really nice atmosphere, really nice vibe. And I can see why this race is becoming so popular. The Deadly Dozen team are really helpful and they get back to you really quickly. I had a bit of an issue with my race result. It didn't, they put me in the wrong category for some reason, the wrong age category. So it didn't show up that I was top of the leaderboard. Contacted them on a Sunday. They replied almost straight away and corrected it. So really good customer service, and I think it's going to be an absolute hit, as it already is. I think it will be the new most popular race, actually. With Hyrox becoming so popular and quite expensive, this one has a lot of positives. So you don't have to pay to be a spectator. The cost is less. Obviously they don't need all the expensive equipment. They don't need to lay it out so absolutely accurately as they do in a Hyrox. And it can be done at any track that's got a piece of grass in the middle. So looking forward to doing it again next year. We've got one coming to Cambridge. I believe there are 24 races in UK, as well as all around the world. I think Jason Curtis wants the race to be held in every single country in the world. So good luck to you.